towards an immediate return to the Championship, Ipswich's survival hopes could largely depend on how they fare over the coming month.
They faced 7 games in that period, 3 of them against clubs around them near the foot of the table. Donovan Blake has more.
Managers often talk about the winning habit, but it's the drawing habit which Ipswich can't stop. They were spared by the woodwork against Bristol City, but cursed their own bad luck later on. Jack Colback denied by the post. And Ipswich couldn't find a way past former Colchester keeper Dean Gherkin. Well, actually, they did. Problem is, Connor Wickham's long throw didn't get a touch en route, so no goal, and a 17th stalemate for Ipswich. A point better off, but still very close to the drop zone. Peterborough still deep in trouble after a 7th defeat in 9 games. David Cottrell's penalty enough to beat them at Swansea. Norwich only needed 1 goal to extend their lead at the top of League One. Grant Holt's 25th of the season securing victory at Oldham, while City enjoyed another against the News of the World, the newspaper printing an apology and paying a 5-figure sum in damages for falsely reporting that the club was about to go into administration. While they continue to sit pretty, Colchester will look on a big chance missed to maintain their own automatic promotion hopes. They're now 4th and 5 points behind Leeds. John Joe O'Toole's goal brought them level at Bristol Rovers, but their defensive performance left manager Adi Boothroyd annoyed. Kayode Odijay's late efforts did little to change his mood. The cameras didn't capture the moment which led to Southend's Jean-Francois Christophe's red card against Charlton on Friday, but we do know that he faces a 4-match ban. Only goal difference is keeping the cash-strapped Shrimpers out of the drop zone too, as they suffered another cruel stoppage-time defeat. Donovan Blake, Anglia News.
A mixed 24 hours for Essex cricketer Alastair Cook. Today he was omitted from England's provisional squad of 30 for the 2020 World Cup, while his county teammate Ravi Bopara was included. Only yesterday, Cook led England to victory in their opening one-day international with Bangladesh. He took a catch in the field as the hosts were bowled out for 228 and then scored 64 as England comfortably reached their victory target. Stars from the world of showbiz were out in force today to say their final goodbyes to jazz legend Sir John Dankworth, who died earlier last month.
Along with his wife, Dame Cleo Lane, he spent many years living near Milton, Keynes, where they also founded a theatre.
Despite the sadness, there were plenty of smiles and plenty of memories of a man who played music with the very best, as he became one of the all-time greats himself. Claire McGlasson reports.
It was a chance for old friends to meet again, arriving to say goodbye to the man who brought them together. And with a career spanning more than 60 years in music, it's not surprising Sir John Dankworth could count a few famous faces among his many fans. Today in Wavendon near Milton Keynes, a chance to remember the musician and the man.
Oh, the man, well, the man is wonderful. And, of course, the woman is wonderful too, yeah. And the family. They're all wonderful, and it's very difficult to believe that Johnny's gone.
Well, I've been privileged with doing my television show for so many years to meet some uniquely talented people. And you do find that the greatest and the best people are often the very nicest and terribly modest.
Sir John became known as the first knight of jazz, a performer, composer and arranger who worked with the likes of Nat King Cole and Ella Fitzgerald.
Right up to the last minutes of his life, really, he was equally passionate about music. I had a conversation with him just a couple of weeks before he died, when he was in hospital. And he was talking about all the fantastic times when he first went over to America and met Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie.
Today, his wife, Cleo Lane, arrived straight from a private funeral, surrounded by their family, determined that this afternoon's concert would celebrate his life in music and poetry.
Sir John and Cleo Lane filled their own backyard with music, building the Stables Theatre here in their garden. And it was at a concert celebrating the 40th anniversary of the theatre that she announced that her husband had died earlier that day.
But not until the finale, after she had given a performance to make Johnny proud.
And this gives life to
Among the performers that night, actress Maureen Lipman.
A great life, very well lived, and valiant, the pair of them. Really a lesson to us all in how you're just feisty, you just get on and do it, you know. I mean, I'm not a great believer that the show must go on, actually. You know, my feeling is, actually, no, the show doesn't have to go on. You just go home and have some beans on toast. But that night it was a privilege to be there.
Today, the theatre they built together was filled to capacity. A celebration of a life lived in music by the friends who knew him best. Claire McGlasson, Anglia News, Wavendon, near Milton Keynes.
Great to see those old greats out in force. Val Doonican looking so well, aged 83.
He was, wasn't he, without the cardigan.
Nearly didn't recognise him without the cardigan.
Sheryl Crow will be making her festival debut as a soloist at the V Festival this summer. The singer will perform on the same bill as headline acts Kings of Leon and Kasabian. The 15th anniversary festival will be jointly held at Highlands Park near Chelmsford and in Staffordshire over the weekend of August the 21st and the 22nd. Now, have you ever heard of the Gadabout Girls from Wisbech, the Crimson Crumblies from Chelmsford, or the Purple Pearls from Colchester?
Well, apparently they're all branches of an increasingly popular women's society with a very important dress code.
Intrigued? Well, this week the Norfolk ladies held a big get-together lunch and invited Laura Burns, wearing clothes of a crucial colour, along.
When you're heading out to a fancy lunch, it's always nice to get ready with a friend, especially if they like the same clothes and makeup and can advise on the right jewellery and the right hat. But as Jude and Gina walk out arm in arm, their outfits are so similar it starts to raise a few eyebrows, especially when these women follow them into the restaurant to join these women inside. In fact, there's more than 50 of them, all over the age of 50. They're proud, feisty members of the British Red Hat Society.
Yes, they really are ladies who lunch with a difference. And to join in, you have to wear purple and, of course, wear a red hat. And why? Well, it's all down to a poem called Warning by Jenny Joseph.
When I am old, I shall wear purple, with a red hat that doesn't go and doesn't suit me.
And I shall sit on the pavement when I'm tired and gobble up samples in shops and press alarm bells.
And run my stick along public railings to make up for the sobriety of my youth.
English poet Jenny Joseph wrote the poem in 1961, and in 1998 it inspired American artists to set up the Red Hatters. Now it has more than 24,000 branches, and 20 of these are in the Anglia region.
Once you put your purple and red on, your regalia, you're a different person. All your ordinary everyday cares get left behind. You put on that feisty, funky, fabulous feeling of being a Red Hatter.
I never ever thought that I would join an all-female group, but once I retired and I met some of this lot, I've met so many wonderful friends.
Everybody brings friendship to the table, and it's just a great place to be. People have just walked in on their own and been taken in.
Some women join to grow old disgracefully, others simply like the costumes, but they all agree it brings them a bit of fun and a lot of friendship. Laura Burns, Anglia News, Norwich.
Oh, they're great. I want to be one.
Well, they do call you Princess Pushy Pants in the office. We're not told you that.
Stop it. We're all wearing purple today, even Amanda. Here's the weather. Nice to see the sun, wasn't it? That's all we've got time for. Good night.
Off to get a red hat. Good night.